Welcome to our unboxing video, and in front of me today I have got 23 kilograms of audio perfection in the Innuos Statement Next Gen. And it's probably one of the most anticipated arrivals that I can remember in the Elite Audio history, because quite honestly, what is in here has the potential to be one of the best streaming products that we have ever heard in our showrooms. I honestly can't wait. I think what makes this very special, with lots of things, so this is not the only thing, but the collaboration that Innuos have very cleverly done with Dr. Sean Jacobs, who, if you just Google the man, you will understand the power of his credentials and how much importance that adds to this next gen product. It should be an astonishing device. And as I say, 23 kilograms, trust me, I mean, I've lifted this thing, and at this angle, I probably shouldn't, and people will be shaking their heads going, no, 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 don't do it. Yep. Yeah, I can confirm that is a weighty device. Anyway, I may also introduce to you our stand-in slicer and dicer. Now, those of you that have watched our past videos will know that our trusty Stanley 99E has always been our box cutter of choice. However, it is on vacation, and the 10499 model will be standing in and doing the duties of the 99E. So, without any further ado, let us see what is in the Innuos box of goodies. So, as we get through the first layer, we are immediately presented with, it feels like, two other internal boxes here. So let me just take this one from the top, and this one, going by its weight, I suspect is the actual streamer. What I'm going to do is get both boxes out, get rid of the big carton, and then carry on with the unboxing. So please bear with me. Okay, unlike in previous videos where I have actually opened the box upside down, I have made a very conscious effort to note the orientation of the box this time. This is without question the power supply. And if I can find my, here we go, the 10499 slicer and dicer, I will now proceed to see the contents of the power supply box. And in here we are presented again with really good packaging. This is really impressive. Everything, of course, double boxed, which I love. Let me just show you the contents. Oh, another little Innuos sticker. You can never have too many of these. Let me just, there we go. Nice new home for it. Yeah, so you can see internally what we have is the packing, very robust, and I like the fact we've got top and bottom caps on the power supply. So let us now rid ourselves of that part, and let us see, just feeling this out here. So again, Innuos have nicely packaged this so you can open it with all the connectors visible at the back of the unit. So I'm just going to get this part off, and it is very tightly packed. So you will see that I actually managed to put a small tear in the bag. It's not the end of the world, but it does show how very tightly packed these are. So there's the back connections with the power output, DC outputs on the rear. One of the great things about this new power supply, it has 8 power rails. Now what that means in reality is that every aspect of the statement has its own supply, all nicely separated, and again, all done by Dr. Sean Jacobs. There's an active rectification mode in this, which basically means that everything's faster, more efficient. The spec is incredible, and as I say, the online reviews and videos that I have seen, and I've got to say the build on this, the fit and finish, there's a lot of streamers out there I think really just look like computers. I'm not going to mention any brand names, but you probably have an idea yourself. What I like, what Innuos have done, this is a proper piece of hi-fi equipment, beautifully CNC'd on the top, and you just know the attention to detail. My brother, who's an electronics engineer, actually said you can tell a lot about a company in terms of their design ethos and commitment to quality in just things at the top panel, the rear panel, the fit and finish, and this really excels in every respect. It really has such a beautiful feel. So there we have the power supply. I'm just going to move this over here for a second. Right, the most important part, well maybe not actually, because they both work. That is equally important as one another. And let us now get into the exciting part. So I will bid farewell to the Stanley 10499. Duty's over for this video. Oops. Again, packing's exactly the same. I wouldn't expect it to be any different. Let's just get the top caps off, lift this out. There's an accessory box in here as well. Let me just show you that part too. And let's have a look in the accessory box first of all. So we have got UK mains lead, which is fine. And of course we have got the DC power connectors. There are some spare fuses, and we also have an Ethernet cable and a very handy statement quick start guide. Perfect, right, so I like the fact there's a nice little cutout inside the box in the packing, which makes the accessory box fit in perfectly in there. So again, let me just temporarily get rid of this part of the packing. Oh, I've left. Schoolboy error, left those out the box. We'll put them back in a second. Right, okay, so again, another Innuos sticker, and this time having learned my lesson from the power supply. There we go. And again, very much like the power supply, the fit and finish on this thing, honestly, it is truly remarkable. It is easily one of the best put together devices in its class. It's really obvious from unboxing. And from what I know of its design, this should be the benchmark that others will try and follow. And I think it's going to be a very tough act to follow indeed. But what we plan to do, and this will be part of our listening process, we're going to compare it with some more expensive opposition. In other words, we have a device here that costs £10,000 more. And we're going to pitch it straight against this. And in the follow-up video to this, which should be possibly next week, maybe the week after, we will tell you how they compared. So there we go. We're going to get this set up in the showroom now, and then I will give you a very brief report on how it sounds on initial setup. We have just connected up the Statement Next Gen and had an initial listen and wow. Honestly, straight from the box, seriously impressive. And as I say, we compared it to, I'm going to say, almost identically priced streamer, and in my honest opinion, this Statement Next Gen is making a statement all on its own. It is seriously impressive. Everything about it oozes quality, as I said. So I'm just going to quickly run through some of the salient points. I've had to make notes on this because there are just so many things to remember. As we covered in the unboxing element of this video, there's a lot of collaboration with Dr. Sean Jacobs, and it's for very good reason. Innuos really truly understand how to get the best sound from a streaming device, and this is pure testament to that fact. So as we said, 8 times power rails, so each important stage of this device has its own supply. Other upgrade elements inside are the upgrade capacitors, and as I also mentioned in the initial part of the video, the unboxing, there's an active rectification module, and it's faster and much more efficient than the previous model. One thing actually which I picked out on, it was a video from, it might be Exponia, it doesn't really matter, but they stated there about the fact that the power supply has a much lower impedance. Now, for the uninitiated, or perhaps those that don't understand power supplies, the key benefit of a lower impedance supply is that it can react much quicker to demands. So the power can be supplied much faster, and that benefits all areas of the device's performance. It has got 4 times more capacitance than the previous model, and as I said, the capacitors are all upgraded in this particular device. Everything is completely separated, so the CPU booths and all the modules, but there's also 15 amps of current that can be quickly delivered. And when you understand about latency in a device like this, reducing latency improves many things about it. So you're going to get better separation, a larger sound stage, better dynamics. The other aspect of this device, it has got the built-in reclockers, both for the USB and also for the Ethernet connection. One thing that I really like about this device too is the vibration reduction control, and effectively it means that the circuit boards are decoupled from the chassis. Now, a very good friend of mine, Steve Elford and John Cheadle, who set up Vertex many years ago. And to give a bit of background, Steve was originally on the Tornado project, and part of his remit was to establish the effect that vibration has on electrical cables, electrical components, and so on. And one of the things that they found, which is where their whole premise of their products came from all those years ago, and we're going back 20 odd years here, is that even if you microscopically, so it's micro vibrations on a component, to the point if you touched it you wouldn't feel anything. When they then measured the performance of that component, even with micro vibrations, it had a significant impact on how that component performed. Now imagine in a fighter aircraft, there's a lot of vibration going to be going on. So for the MOD, this was something that was very critical in part of understanding how they could improve not just the performance of a component, but also its reliability. So Innuos have obviously taken that premise on board. I'm not saying it's from Vertex because it isn't, but they understand that this is such a crucial aspect of a device's performance, that the more you can reduce vibration on the boards, therefore on the components themselves, the better it will perform. And as I said on first listen, it is just one of those wow moments. It is so analog sounding. It has a hint of warmth, which is what I personally would want from a streaming device. The soundstage is expansive. We've tested it with some of our well-known tracks. And I'll bring some of these up on screen for you just now. It's ones that we've used before, but it's a good way to benchmark its performance. I think one of the things that really stood out for me was, and I mentioned this earlier, is the soundstage was just cavernous. And I've not heard such an impressive soundstage from any streamer, I've got to say, full stop. And this device isn't even burnt in. It's like the ultimate tease here because it sounds amazing already. Where's it going to be once it is burnt in? So that leads me on to the next part and where we're going to take this part of the Innuos Statement Next Gen. We're going to do a blind test, and this is to establish its credentials overall. We're not one for knocking the competition, so depending on the outcome, I don't know what it's going to be. I have a gut feel based on what I've heard thus far. I can't see anything in this category beating it, quite honestly. And that's quite a bold statement, no pun intended, to make under any circumstances, because obviously listening, as I've said on many occasions, is a purely subjective experience. However, having been in this industry for 20 odd years and done probably in that time thousands of component comparisons, and I think with my background in music, you know, my classically trained violinist, I play guitar, I think my ear is attuned anyway to what is musical. I'm not saying that would be to everyone's taste. I'm not suggesting that for a second. And the one thing that I love is that everybody's opinion is valid here. There's no one person that can say they're right or wrong because it is subjective. But based on the system, the comparative product that we had, just a very brief comparison, so it's by no means in depth, this statement is a truly groundbreaking device in my opinion. And if any of you are considering an outlay for a device in this category, there is absolutely no question this has to be on your shortlist for auditioning. Now, moving on slightly from there, this statement will be part of our showroom event, which I mentioned previously. It's on the 18th of May. And we will be doing a blind test. You will be part of this blind test process if you come along. You will get the chance to vote on what you think sounds best. I mentioned in our previous video that we've got Niall from Innuos coming along, and he'll be here on the day, so he can answer some of the more pertinent technical questions and divulge a lot of the technicals that I've already done on the statement and the other Innuos devices that we will have there. All the pulse models will be available for your listening pleasure and part of the blind shootout test. To book tickets, I'll put that in the description of the video below so you can get yourself a reserved place. You can book as many tickets as you want, but the numbers are filling up fast at point of making this video. With even more than a month to go, we are already at 75% of our capacity. So please get in quick. Our events, you know, the feedback we get after the events are great, and it's such a fun day. We love it because we get a chance to meet you guys face to face, and also it gives us the chance to do something a bit fun, in this case a blind shootout test. It will be a lot of fun, and I'm genuinely eager to see how that goes. And we've got all the other solo products and lots of others, Hi-Fi Rose, the Audiolab 9000N, and so on. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. And as ever in our video, this is the point I ask a small favour. If you're enjoying the content, if you're looking forward to what we've got coming in the future, and if you've enjoyed any of our videos, please just take 2 seconds, please like and subscribe. It honestly means a huge amount to us. It gives us that incentive to produce more and more. And we're actually a bit stretched this week because sales manager's on holiday. I'm doubling up duties there and doing the video. So I am slightly, I'd say, under time pressure. My schedule is a bit crazy. So, but we know that it's important to give you these videos week after week. So as I say, a little thank you from me would be if you just like and subscribe. That would be absolutely marvelous. So there we go. We have got this comparison that we're going to be doing, and I will be doing a follow-up video on the statement. And as I said initially, I am genuinely staggered at its performance. It truly deserves all the accolades that it currently has, and I can't wait to really put it through its paces. And we're going to put it up against something that costs £10,000 more. That will be a test of its true mettle. It shouldn't be better. Even if it's as good, then that in itself is a remarkable piece, a remarkable achievement and an incredible piece of audio engineering. So genuinely, I can't wait. So until then, please have a great week listening to music. And I want to thank you for watching this video today. It's always a pleasure. And my direct email, if you want to message me about anything, here is the email address that you can use. I do reply to every single email that I receive. We endeavour to reply to as many of the comments that you put in our videos as we possibly can. Some that are maybe going back some months, it's quite difficult to keep track of these, but we've got so many videos, but we do our very best to deal with the current video, and we will go back as much as we can to do that. But we do appreciate your comments, and please keep them coming. If you've got any suggestions on something you would like us to include in the video, email me directly. You've got that email address. I'd love to hear from you. Even if you want some system advice, I've been advising people in different countries that we're not even supplying to, and I value that you trust my judgment to ask my advice in the first place. So don't hesitate to get in touch if you feel there is something you would like some unbiased advice on. So until the next video, please take care. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.